Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Dodongo's Cavern, where today we're going to find out how do 90% of Americans have jobs by Daniel Tosh. For those of you who don't know Daniel Tosh, great comedic genius in my opinion. Tosh.0. It's a lovely show. So I don't think I've ever seen much of his stand up. So this is gonna be good. I just have a feeling. So because I feel like on Tosh.0 he censors himself a lot. So we're gonna find out. It's kind of like Bob Saget. If you've ever seen Bob Saget stand up, oh yeah, you would never expect the full house guy to say all the time. So here we are.
It is great to be here in America. Yeah. The greatest country in the world, if you haven't traveled a lot. Do we have to constantly scream we're number one? It's always the people that live in the most boring parts of this country that scream the loudest. People in Kansas, we're the greatest country in the world. It's like, do you guys have internet there? You ever seen a photo of Fiji?
Ever seen a photo of Fiji?
I've never
Fiji water's good. I'm just saying.
been to Fiji, but I've seen photos. It looks pretty amazing. It's hard to think we're better than that. We're top 10. Maybe if we started screaming that every day, maybe terrorists would stop trying to saw our heads off. We're top 10. And they'd be like, that's fair. It was that number one stuff that was getting old.
The number one stuff that was getting
America's basically turned into one of these factories where we just have a sign up like, it's been 22 days since our last horrible thing. And it's like, oh, all right, rip it down. We're back at zero again. These things just keep happening. You know, whether it's Ferguson or Baltimore. I can solve racist cops. That's an easy fix.
Oh, God.
But nobody comes to me for the answers.
Nobody comes to me.
You want to get rid of that forever? How about this? Only black people should be allowed to be cops. Boom, problem solved.
Because then you can't say it was a hate crime. You can never say it was a hate crime. Because it's like if it's a black cop and like they're harassing white people, well, you know, based on history, we kind of deserve it. But the other way around, yeah, no. Oh, Jesus. Love this guy.
And if any of you have issue with this, it's because you're racist. Ooh, what about white people? White people can be firefighters. We're more outdoorsy, it makes sense. White people, firefighters, black people, cops. Who wants tickets to the softball game now? Yeah, it's gonna get pretty tense. Might want to put in a mercy rule. And the next time we have one of these tragedies, inevitably we will, and you happen to be so unfortunate enough to know the person that's being accused of the crime, do us all a favor and don't get on TV the next day and be like, I lived next to him for 32 years. I never could have seen this coming. Maybe you should be locked up for 6 months. I find nothing more disrespectful. You never could have seen it coming. I've never met anyone in my entire life that I couldn't wrap my brain around the fact that they are capable of awful things. Literally no one. My mom could blow up a nursery. And if you put me on TV the next day and I was completely honest with myself, I'd be like, I can fucking see it. No, it makes sense. Sometimes when I was a kid, I'd come home from school, she wasn't happy to see me. I think she hates children. Ladies, know that every man you're sitting next to tonight, if you could get into their head and see every thought they have ever had, you would immediately pull out a gun and blow your head off. Because trust me, they're capable of anything. All day long, every day, nothing but twisted, weird, awful shit is just going round and round and round. And what do you do at night? You snuggle up next to them because you're so happy that you're not alone. And I think that says more about you.
No, oh my God, that's so true. I'm so glad we don't have mind reading machines right now because the shit that goes on in my head. I mean, you hear half the shit that comes out of my mouth, but if you could actually see what the is going on in my head, oh, it would probably scare a lot of people, like for real. But do I act on it? No, no. That's what makes me civil. I'm not just a caveman. I'm a civilized caveman.
That notion that your parents raised you on, stand by your man, if you're insane. The second your man gets accused of anything, you immediately distance yourself. Just be like, I don't know what the fuck he's into. And buy clothes in the next town, we'll forgive you.
That's so fucking true.
By the way, I do love this country. We're the only place with any diversity. The entire planet's segregated. You realize that when you watch international sports. Like I was trying to watch the World Cup, despite hating it. I get it, soccer's the most popular sport on the planet. That's because half the world can't afford AC. And that's about how long you have to run just to get tired enough to fall asleep in these godforsaken countries.
I was wondering where he was going.
You ever try to
with that.
gamble on soccer? What's the over-under? 0.5? How much time's left? It's a secret. I'm out. But we have diversity. Other teams don't. Or if you look at the Olympics, you look at our U.S. gymnastics squad. We have an Asian girl, a white girl, a black girl. Look at the Chinese squad. Any guesses? Did you guess exclusively Chinese bitches?
Exclusively Chinese bitches.
Yeah, that's all that's ever been on that team. That's all that will ever be on that team. And they wonder why they're not getting golds anymore. Well, you better get a Harlem in China.
Oh my God.
You think snapping together...
I couldn't even imagine that Harlem, China. Oh, what are you doing here? You better go. Get out of my neighborhood. Fuck, man. Jesus Christ. I kill you. No, you. No, you. No, you. Me. You. No, off.
Chinese dongo.
Chinese dongo. Chin dongos.
Chin dongo.
Chin dongos. Oh, from the Chin. From the Dodongo dynasty, the Chins. Chin dongos from the Dodongo dynasty. Jesus Christ. Oh man. And they're not too friendly. They're from the Mean dynasty. So, all right, here we go. Sorry, I'm having too much fun with this one already.
Pads all day is tough.
Hold on, let's go ahead and go back just a little bit.
You think snapping together iPads all day is tough? It is. Not as tough as it used to be. Now they have suicide nets around their building so they can jump out, bounce right back. Sorry, boss, just need some fresh air. Back to making Americans more stuff? You got it. This is a tough joke to do as a white comedian, but here goes.
Oh God, here we go.
Because where this country is now, from where we came from, is pretty remarkable. There's nothing more shameful in our country's past than slavery. Okay, that's horrible. But I've grown up in a generation where I've idolized black people my entire life. They are better at everything. So the fact that we pulled off slavery, I've already said it's awful. That's off the table. I'm just saying it's kind of neat. I mean, at any point, they could have been like, you know we can just run away, right? And you will never catch us. And if you do, we will beat the living shit out of you. Right. That's about how well that joke should go over. There's a fine line between appreciating the sarcasm and, ooh, this feels like a rally. And you did well.
You did well.
That's a joke I do not do everywhere. That's a joke if the audience gets a little too excited, I shut it down. You start hearing a couple yee-haws, trouble's a brewing. As soon as yeehaw hits a certain octave, hate crime and T minus 10, 9.
Yeehaw!
The unemployment rate in our country is around 6.5%. I'm told that's pretty good. I could care less. I wish a president would have the balls to say what I'm about to. 10% of Americans don't deserve jobs. Good night. Like, that's a number I can get my head around. Of course, there's exceptions to that. That's not who we're talking about. But if you don't think 10% of Americans are lazy pieces of shit, then you have never traveled anywhere.
I have a job and I'm a lazy piece of shit, so I can understand that. It's like, do I want to go to work? No. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't. I'd just sit around and play with my dick all day.
You already do that.
I do that half the time, but imagine if I could get paid for playing with my dick.
Hey, Dodongo OnlyFans, pitch it right now.
Dodongo OnlyFans. Oh
You
man.
want to see Dodongo play with his Dodongo?
You want to see Dodongo's diddly? No problem. Dodongo OnlyFans. Sounds like a board game. Dodongo's diddly. I don't know what it would entail, but it does sound like a board game from the 90s. Dodongo's diddly.
Gather your friends around for Dodongo's Diddly. Whoa!
We have to make it grow. Shit. All right. Okay.
It's like what's that game where it's called is it Trouble or Sorry, where you push the thing down in the middle and it rolls the dice when you push it.
The bubble.
The bubble, yeah.
If you pop the bubble, you're in trouble. Yeah, it's trouble. Yeah.
The diddly's inside the bubble.
The diddly's inside the bubble.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you got like little penises that have numbers on them, and each one flips around real quick. It's like, oh dude, did we just come up with like a game changer right there? I think we did.
Dodongo's Diddly.
How many diddles did he do? 5.
How many diddlies did I do? Diddly squat.
Diddly squat.
Dodongo's Diddly Squat. That's the title.
Oh, the Dodongo's diddly squat. Considering the fact that if you look on Urban Dictionary and you look up the word double diz, that's me. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but Urban Dictionary, look up double diz. Literally, I own that.
Also, if any of you motherfuckers want to make a board game called Dodongo's Diddly Squat, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I'm not making that board game.
I'm not making Dodongo's diddly squat. But I mean, in real life, I'm making Dodongo's diddly squat. But but no, yeah. I wonder. Ooh, that would be a. Okay, all right. This has gone on too long. Dodongo's diddly squat. It would be a great game though. Do you squat on Dodongo's diddly, or is it his diddly just squats? I don't know. Anyway. I know this is not making any sense. We're going to go ahead and get back to Daniel.
I think the goal of the game should be to do diddly squat. So, like, it's like you're going around the board, and, like, every time you land on go to work, you lose points.
Every time you land on work, go to work, you lose points? That actually, yeah. Had to go to work today. Move back 3 spaces. Like that kind of shit. The object is to not do a thing. to get away with being lazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The real way to win the game is you put the board game on the shelf and don't play it at all.
Then if you don't play the board game at all, you're a master at Dodongo's diddly squat. Because you didn't do shit.
You didn't do diddly shit. What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know, but this is where we go sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's all a round robin of diddly squats. All right, okay, back to it.
Because the number that blows me away is that over 90% of Americans have jobs. Who the fuck is hiring you morons? Because I wouldn't. The sense of entitlement, everyone thinks they deserve more than they have. No one's content. Young kids, I won't even talk to them anymore because you parents have done just a bang-up job.
Oh.
If I meet one more kid and ask him what he wants to do when he gets older and he replies, "I'll be famous like you," I'm gonna kick him in his teeth. You're never gonna be famous. Never. You have no chance. I didn't get here because I work hard. I have a gift from God. Everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame, buddy. Excuse me? That's an average. Yeah, that's 0 for you, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 20 years, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Everybody gets 15 minutes. You know Andy Warhol was on drugs when he said that, right? He didn't think he'd be quoted for the rest of eternity, let alone taken seriously as an artist. You ever go into like a cute local cafe and an artist has their work for sale on the walls? Has anybody ever not walked up, looked at the price, and gone, who the fuck do they think they are? Just once, I'd like to walk into somebody's home and be like, wow, that is a beautiful piece. Where did you get it? And they're like, oh, funny story. I was getting a spinach wrap the other day for lunch, and I had $750 burning a hole in my pocket. And I was like, hey guys, unbolt this from your urinal and get it into my living room. You know what the unemployment rate in China is? Neither do I, because I'm American, I'm fucking stupid. It's gotta be low, right? Those people get up at 3 in the morning to practice the violin for 4.5 hours. Then they work on math for 12 hours, and whatever's left, they're ninjas. If you think for 1 second we will ever catch up with them, you are out of your mind. Just sit at home and be patient until they take over. And quite frankly, they deserve our country. I go, oh shit, China's here. Do we take off our shoes? How does this work?
Do we take off our shoes? Oh man, that was great. Jesus Christ. Oh, if I wish I was a ninja. I'd like to kill people for hire, for money. Everyone always is like, people don't realize ninjas are assassins. Like, that's their job.
According to Daniel Tosh, not only could you kill like an entire room of people, but you can melodically play the violin afterwards over all of their bodies.
Yeah, while doing arithmetic on, while creating an algebraic formula on how many people you killed and the time it took you to do each one. Man, no, and that's so true. It's like, oh my God. And this is my age, but it's like the new generation, just like some of these fucking kids is like, oh, do you really? The entitlement that we have. I want to TikTok for the rest of my life. That would be nice for me. TikTok. Go TikTok yourself and go play some Dodongo's diddly squat and off. So, until the next time, I bid you adieu.